Hello my beautiful friends, it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about one of my favorite things, and that's ColourPop palettes. I get asked all the time, what's your favorite ColourPop palette, or what's your top 3 favorite ColourPop palettes? First of all, it's really hard to answer that question because my favorites kind of fluctuate just depending on what colors I'm interested in, what kind of clothes I'm wearing, what season I'm in, you know, my favorites fluctuate. I don't have a lot of definitive favorite products. I'm always trying to stay open-minded for new favorites, my taste change, and you get the point. Also, a bunch of my really truly favorite ColourPop palettes are discontinued. So I don't necessarily love harping on things that are my favorites that are no longer available, because then people get bummed out that they can't get them anymore, and you know, it's a whole thing. So when I talk about favorites, I like to have a very specific set of parameters in place. So what we're talking about today are my top 10 currently available. They might be sold out. Knowing ColourPop, probably some of these are out of stock right now, but these are all current, meaning they're not discontinued, they're not off the site, and they all have a colorful element. So I took out all of the neutral palettes out of the running. We're not going to talk about Bare Necessities or Going Coconuts or Wild Child or Off Melrose, any of those very neutral palettes. Those are just out of the running. Now these aren't all necessarily super colorful palettes, but they all have an element of colorfulness to them. I tried to do beyond just the pop of color palette. I'm sure that some people will want to argue with that on some of these choices, and that's fine. I'm just trying to tell you some of my favorites. These are all palettes that I really recommend. I've really enjoyed. I have reviewed each and every one of these palettes, and in the interest of keeping this short and sweet, because you know I like to ramble about my ColourPop palettes and eyeshadow palettes in general, I will link all of my reviews. You can see tons of swatches. Some of these have tutorials, lots of comparisons, full reviews, the whole shebang. So no swatches in this video, but I do have swatches of all of these available. Just gotta go check the description box and you can click right over to those. There are some of these palettes that carry eye safety warnings for pigments. Please refer to the individual reviews to hear more about that. I do have an affiliate code for the ColourPop site if you decide to purchase any of these palettes or make any other orders in the future. You can use my code. The code is just Amanda. It will save you 10%. This is an affiliate code, so I do earn a small commission if you choose to use it. Thank you for everybody who does choose to support the channel that way, but no pressure to you if that's not your jam. Just wanted to kind of throw that out there. Okay, I did rank these, and I reserve the right to change my mind on how much I love these and where I rate them in the future, but today, this is where they're at. Okay, coming in at number 10 is the Malibu Barbie palette. This one is pretty expensive. Typical for collaborations, they are a little bit more expensive. This one's just a very fun mix for summer. I think a lot of people are going to enjoy this. We've got some really bright, bold colors, blues, pink, coral, this pop of yellow, all great summertime colors. These are grounded with a few little neutrals in here, but mostly very bright. I'm getting very beachy, almost tropical vibes from these colors. One thing that I like about this palette is the matte shades in here are very bold, very pigmented. It does suffer a little bit from the pop of blue effect, but it works with this color scheme, it works with the theming, and this is a cute, fun, summery, colorful palette. In spot number 9 is the Child palette in collaboration with Star Wars The Mandalorian. I realize that based on today's look, this may be surprising to you, but I'm not really a big blue and green girl. This palette makes it really fun and easy for me to use green, and I've really enjoyed a lot of the green eye looks that I've come up with using this palette. The neutral shades that they chose to mix in here just made it so user-friendly for me and such a comfortable little color palette for me. It's definitely outside of the norm, and you can tell because it's in spot number 9, it's not changing my life and changing my mind, making me a green above all else lover. But especially this shade, the Force, is so beautiful. The packaging is so cute. The whole thing just makes so much sense. So this is my number 9 spot. In 8th place, we have the Strawberry Shake palette. I really like the mix of colors in here. A lot of these peachy pink type of colors almost make me feel like I'm using a neutral palette, but I can still end up with some definitively colorful pink looks. Can go a little bit softer if I choose to stay in this region, or I can really kick it up a notch with some deep reddish magenta colors. I love this shade called Berry Fine. It's like a peachy gold shifty shade, and this ends up being used in almost every look that I do with this palette. It's definitely transformative, and I think for only 9 shadows, especially such a monochromatic collection of shadows, this just has a lot of versatility and I get a lot of fun looks from the Strawberry Shake palette. In spot number 7, this is one of the palettes that I think people are going to argue with me about if this counts as a colorful palette or not. I always end up gravitating towards and using the more yellow shades in this palette, so maybe in my brain it just is more colorful. I like the looks that I get with just this palette, which is saying a lot because I'm not much for an all matte eye. Anytime a palette takes me out of what I usually do, takes me out of that comfort zone, and opens my eyes to a new way of doing things, like the Child palette did with greens, this palette does for all matte looks. This is something that's so different in the ColourPop line, and I've just really enjoyed it both on its own and as a companion palette. In 6th place is the Wine and Only palette. This is the type of color story I really enjoy. I know when this released, a lot of people thought it wasn't wine enough, it was too pinky or too berry, and that's totally a valid criticism. However, I still love this color story. When I think of a romantic, sultry, kind of sexy eye look, this is the first palette that my mind goes to. I really like these rich berry tone reds. We do have a little nod to purple, little nod to pink. Those are also colors that I really like. The only shadow that I don't love in this palette is this super, super glittery matte shade called Grapeful. But overall, I love this color scheme. Now I want to go on a date night just so that I can wear this. We've made it to the halfway point. In spot number 5 is the Coast to Coral palette. This is such a perfect spring to summer transition type of palette. This is also one that I would recommend to somebody who's nervous about using colors. If you've been a die-hard neutral lover, but you want to try something a little brighter, you want to get out of your comfort zone a little bit, this palette is going to be perfect because you can go for this very bold coral color, but there are also a lot of softer, more neutrally type of colors in here as well. So that is our number 5 spot, Coast to Coral. In spot number 4, this is another one that I think some people will see as mostly a neutral palette. I will respectfully disagree. That is the So Very Lovely palette. I am just so drawn to this purple, coral, gold type of color scheme. We have a couple of cooler tones, mostly warmer tones. We do have some comfy warm neutrals. We've got lots of color. We've got some pastel. We've got some richer, more jewel tones. There's just a little bit of everything in here, a little something for everybody. I do wish there was a little bit more depth, some deeper, darker colors to really complete a look from this palette. But overall, I just think this is so cute, so fun. I definitely get all the pops of color that I want. And I feel like I can get so many different eye looks from this palette. And that's why So Very Lovely is in spot number 4. Alright, we're in the top 3 now, and if you have watched my channel for any length of time, not a single one of these is going to be a surprise to you. In 3rd place is actually a palette that holds a very, very special place in my heart. This is the Lilac You a Lot palette, and over a year ago when I got to do a favorites bundle with ColourPop, which still blows my mind, this palette was in my favorites bundle. Not only do I love purple eyeshadow, purple is my absolute favorite eyeshadow color to wear, but this palette just gives me so many joyful memories. It reminds me of how far I've come with my channel and with Makeup.Just.For.Fun in general. I just feel like a fancy unicorn when I wear this, and I don't know who wouldn't want to feel that way. I get everything I want. I got a little bit of pink, a little bit of like a dusty mauve neutral. I've got some duochromes. I've got some really deep, dark, rich purples. There's just so much packed into this little 9-pan palette. And you know, it also just carries a lot of sentimental feelings for me. So am I very biased? Yes, I am, but it's still a great palette. That's why I put it in my favorites in the first place. In second place is a palette that will definitely be making an appearance in my best of the year 2021 favorites. Spoiler alert, it's the Limoncello palette. I love this little palette so much. Luxurious packaging, really cute summery theming, lots of toasty, warm, just like bright sunshiny colors in here. I really appreciate these neutrals that just work so well with the color scheme. Everything about this just makes me really happy. Every time I do a look with this palette, I feel like it's a great balance of something that I'm comfortable wearing, but also something that is really vibrant and joyful. And I do think that this is one of the best, if not the best palette they've put out so far this year. Hence why it's so high in this ranking. And number one, you knew, right? If you're new here, then you probably didn't know that, because why would you? But anybody who has been around for a while knows this is one of my favorite palettes of all time. Like I told you, I love purple. This, It's My Pleasure palette, has just been a long running staple for me. It's jam-packed with beautiful purple shades. We've got tons of duochromes. This dark purple called Chicklet is so stunningly beautiful. This was like a purple revelation moment for me. This palette definitely helped me realize my passion for purple eyeshadow. It really is such a perfect purple palette. It's interesting, it's easy to use, it's fun. It's number one. This is my number one. If you're gonna get one colorful palette from ColourPop, make it this one. It's just the best. It's so cool. I hope you enjoyed this fun little favorites ranking video. I hope it was helpful. If you're on the fence about any of these palettes, I would love to hear what your favorite ColourPop palettes are. What are you reaching for a lot this summer? What is on your wish list? Don't forget that you can use my affiliate code Amanda to save a couple of coins if you're gonna make a ColourPop order. I can't wait to hear which favorites we share, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I did rank these. What was I gonna say? Take a breather. My brain is crashing. I had too much caffeine this morning, and I don't know, my brain's just shutting down. Hopefully it functions for a little while longer. We'll see. Editing Amanda, work your magic. You know what to do. Make it make sense. What was I gonna say? Amanda, you're testing my patience today. Stay on track. Okay. Nailed it. Wow. Really all over the place. Talking too much already. Shocking. Not that I need a reason. Do I? I don't know. I hope I haven't rambled too much. I'm trying to keep it to the point. It's sort of rambling just by saying that, isn't it? Yeah. What? Wow. My brain is just... Okay. Of course my battery is dying when I'm literally almost done with this video. Classic. Okay, it's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. That was weird. Why'd I do that? What was I trying to say with that one? I'll get there eventually. What? Huh? But if you're not into purple, get Limoncello. That's the TLDR of this video. Huh? Wow. Okay. There are a handful of people that always comment just nice, hi Amanda, or like thanks for the video. So just know I appreciate you. Thank you. You are a beacon among commenters. You are my shining light. I literally look forward to your comments. Thank you so much. If I don't respond, it's only because I just don't have the brain capacity, but I really appreciate you. Everybody. Just everybody who brings their beautiful face here. I really appreciate it. And I just love you. I love your face so much. I'm glad we get to hang out. Thanks for being my friend. Okay. Oh, also, if you're wondering about these earrings, I made them. You can find ones just like them in my Etsy shop. Yes, I am multi-talented. Sometimes I am a jewelry artiste and other things artiste, so check that out just for fun style. Okay, anyway, I love your face so much. Thank you. Thanks for hanging out and just thanks. Here, give me a hug. Come on. Yep. Okay, I needed that. Thank you. I love your face. Okay, bye-bye.